Hello, my name is Kai, and today I'm just going to briefly talk about the Alexander Isak news because it's broken within the past 8 hours, and I was busy with work, but now that I'm on break, I'm going to just record this video and talk about some of my opinions on it. But before I get into it, it'd be great if you guys could subscribe to the channel, comment down below, like the video, and follow me on Twitter. But let's get into the news. So what we can see is that Alexander Isak has informed Newcastle of his desire to explore a move this summer from Fabrizio Romano. We saw that he didn't travel to the Asia tour that they have in Singapore. This has shades of Coutinho kind of faking a back injury to me a little bit, because Isak apparently has a thigh injury, and that was initially why he stayed home, but now he didn't get on the plane and he wants to leave Newcastle. And look, we also saw some news that Bayern are expected to have another proposal for Lucho soon. I think Liverpool will probably end up getting around £75 million for Luis Diaz, whether that's in like add-ons plus whatever. I think that'll probably be the total package. And if that happens, I think we go in and we sign Isak. Now, seeing some rumors online about people saying he's already agreed to go to Liverpool, and Newcastle are just focusing right now on Benjamin Sesko. I saw that possibility. I don't really believe it. I think this saga will probably last until maybe early August, at least a week of this, but I don't know how Liverpool are moving. We might get it done quicker. I do think, though, that it's Isak or Rodrigo. I just don't see a world where you can play all three of them without, of course, one of them being on the bench, because Salah is obviously on the right wing. But what I'm not going to do in this video is just, talk to you about the news. I'm going to go through a little bit about how I think this could look. I just think it's odd. It's very difficult to think of like a solid fit here, because look, this is Liverpool with Isak. I don't think you can look like this. I mean, yes, you can play Ekitike as a left winger, and it's not the end of the world, but the problem that I have is just, what does this look like? He's dropping in here. Are we going back to the left 10, center 10 dynamic where Salah's pushing up and it looks like this? Is that what we're doing again? Something that looks like this with Frimpong and Kirkez overlapping? I don't think so, based on what we've seen. I think we still want to go with this back three, right? And if that's the case, you still want a connected pivot. I still want Verts in the left half space, so it would be Ekitike out wide. I mean, yes, there's fluid interchanging here, but Ekitike isn't really the type of guy to dribble inside, and you're not going to play Isak out here either. That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, yeah, Ekitike could do the link-up job. These guys would both drop in, but this just feels a little bit weird to me. The one thing that I think might be possible is potentially moving to something that looks more like this. Maybe that's what Arne Slot wants. If there's possibilities of something like this or this, maybe then Kirkez has more of the freedom to overlap. That's more of a possibility, because there are people talking about moving to a 4-2-2-2. The issue with moving to a 4-2-2-2, right, is Salah would be central and you'd drop Ekitike, and then you have the return of someone like Dom in the 4-2-2-2. Because you could also put Salah here, but the issue is like, realistically, you want Salah to be able to come centrally, but it's also possible that we want to use both Salah and Verts as playmakers as opposed to goal scorers. But then again, with the fluid interchanges, it's not impossible that Ekitike drops in and lets Salah run behind. I do like the idea of having a box midfield, though, or at least a box, and because it's just better for vertical progression, and with the footballers that we have, that would make a lot of sense. You have a lot of very technical players now, so I wouldn't necessarily hate it. But based on what we've done throughout all of preseason, I'd be surprised if Arne changes his system, so it's definitely going to be this. And it's Isak or Rodrigo, because if you sign Rodrigo instead, you're going to get a world where he's on the left wing and Ekitike is your striker, right? And then if you don't sign Rodrigo, it's Isak. I assume that's what it is. But yeah, I'm just unsure. I'll have to do some more analysis, because we already know how Isak plays. I don't really need to show you panels of what he's going to do, right? He's an in-behind threat. He can dribble. He can pick up the ball deep. He'll cut inside and score. Like, we know what Isak does. We've watched him play a lot. So that's not as much of a concern. Can Ekitike do this? Yeah, we've seen him roam into the channels. I did a whole video on Ekitike's ability to roam into the channels, sure. But Can he start out here and come inside? Is that the best use of him? Are we just going to be fully fluid and all of these players are just going to interchange centrally? Is the entire front five going to interchange? Maybe potentially a front six at the end? Because you could see all sorts of different combinations of play. I don't know. I am not fully sure, but that's just my reaction to the news. I do think it happens though, or at least it'll get far, because there's no way that there's all this smoke without a fire. We know that we want Isak. We know that he wants to leave. We know that Newcastle have talked to Benjamin Sesko and Johan Wissa. So there's no reason as to why we wouldn't at least make an approach and try for Isak. And also, one last thing before I go. People were saying that Indy isn't a reliable source, which is true. I've been around for a while too. I know when Indy wasn't. But low-key, I feel like he's fluking sources. Yeah, some of this stuff is definitely hyperbole, like, oh, look for properties in the Chester area. Sure, a lot of this is definitely hyperbole. I think he's still an entertainer, but to some extent, I think he does have some real sources. And for Newcastle fans who are angered because they've lost the chance of signing Ekitike for the third time ever, because they've tried at Reims, they tried again after, and they tried this time around, and now they're going to lose Isak. I think you got to look at this like your Coutinho moment. Go get Sesko, go buy Wissa, get Dominic Calvert-Lewin on a free, pick up some people in defense, pick up a goalkeeper, really start building this team, because you could easily stay in the Champions League again this season. Sesko is not the finished product, but it's somewhere like Newcastle, there's not a high amount of pressure. He'll definitely be able to develop, and he actually is a good threat, like a good aerial threat in comparison to like even Isak and Ekitike, who are tall but don't necessarily score a lot of headers. Sesko does. There's a lot of things that you can do, especially with Lewis Hall as your crossing threat. So I wouldn't be too terrified of your prospects of losing Alexander Isak. You just got to take it and continue developing the project, because what really matters here is how you spend the money and when you're moving forward. But that is it for me in this video. If you liked the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Twitter. Before I go, I'd like to say that I'm working on a video for Rob Page. I will have videos for the AC Milan game before, right after, and the analysis after that. I'm looking to have my first video on other teams next week. It's been a very busy week for me. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching.